r/rules horror. Posted by u/apple on a tree. Rules for the school day at St. Gabriel's Catholic School. Welcome to St. Gabriel's Catholic School. You've just transferred, right? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you have. St. Gabriel's is a very fun and creative school, focused on your education and faith life. However, we do have a few rules to keep our students, teachers, and other entities safe. If you ever find yourself in violation of these rules, you will not enjoy what will happen next. Rule 1. Your schedule has been given to you. Make sure you memorize it very closely, as to enter your proper classroom by the time the bell has rung. Rule 1A. If you are still in the hallways when the bell has rung, calmly walk to the nearest classroom and knock on the door. Ignore the laughing behind you. If you are let into the room, you are safe for now. Make sure to not go into the hallway again until the school day is over. Rule 1B. If you are in the incorrect classroom when the bell has rung, scream at the top of your lungs. There is no hope for you left, but maybe you can save the other people in the room. Rule 2. Sit in your first period seat as normal and ignore anything supernatural that happens around you. If you say anything about it, run out of the school and never come back. The safest course of action would be to move away. Rule 2A. If your teacher is a bundle of wings and eyes, all rules on this list are null. You are safe from any entities until the next school day. The next day, however, your teacher will be back to normal and you are no longer safe. Rule 3. Your teacher should be teaching math or science during your first period. If they are not, then calmly pick up a pair of scissors and stab it in the eyes. That is not your teacher. Rule 4. Once your first period class has ended, pick up your things and head to your second period class. Sit down and wait for your teacher to greet you. They should say, "Good morning, students." Rule 4A. If they do not say good morning but still talk, stay in that classroom until lunchtime. Do not go to your third or fourth period class after the bell has rung. Rule 4B. If they say nothing, kill the student in the chair to the left of you. Things should proceed as normal after this. If they still do not say anything after you've killed the student next to you, kill yourself. You're saving many lives this way. Rule 5. Never fall asleep in class. If you do, Baal Peor will absorb you. If you wake up before he comes, walk up to your teacher and tell them. They'll put you out of your misery on the spot. Rule 6. Third and fourth period should be completely normal. If you see an entity in your classroom, run to the nearest restroom you can find, regardless of gender. The entities in there are friendly and will protect you. Rule 6A. If the nearest restroom is the second floor girls' restroom, run past it. The entities are not friendly. Rule 7. Congratulations. You've made it to lunch if you've followed all the rules so far. When you enter the lunchroom, head straight to the lunch line. Our kind lunch lady Barbella should provide you with a healthy meal of green beans and brown meat. Rule 7A. If Barbella provides you broccoli and white meat, kindly return it and say you're allergic to white meat. Both are poisoned. She should return you the usual meal. Rule 8. Sit at any lunch table you want. Except table 7. That is where Lilam likes to sit. You wouldn't want to anger poor Lilam, would you? Rule 8A. If Lilam sits next to you, do not be alarmed. She only wants to be friends. Talk to her no matter how deformed, ugly, and demonic she may look, and just make sure she does not follow you out of the cafeteria. Rule 9. Make sure you eat all your veggies. If you don't, Barbella will follow you to 5th period and offer you more veggies. Take them and eat them. They are poisoned, but getting poisoned is better than what she do to you. Rule 10. On your way to period 5, make sure to say hi to Eve. She'll be a young woman with long hair wandering the halls on your way to class. If you do not say hi, you will be attacked and dragged to hell by Asmodeus. Rule 10A. If you see Eve and she has short hair, that is not Eve. That is Lilith, and she has killed Eve. Do not be alarmed. Walk to the principal's office and tell me. School will be dismissed, and Eve should be back by tomorrow. Rule 11. Periods 5 and 6 should continue as normal. Each class should be filled with 10 demon-like figures circled around the students' desks. Do not be alarmed, they are just there to ward off the real demons. Do not interact with them unless they interact with you. Rule 11A. If they interact with you, they will say something in a language you don't understand. Just nod and smile, and say I have to return to class. When you can. Make sure to never interrupt them. Rule 12. You've made it through the day. Congrats. Your mom should be waiting out front in her car. If you do not have a mom or a car, Simply walk to your house, no matter how far. The thing that's waiting outside for you is not your dad. Next story of this video. Posted by you/daily viewer. How to avoid being found. You're walking around your room one day, searching for something. You can't exactly remember what it was you're trying to find, but you know you have to find it. You come across a note titled "How to Avoid Being Found." You don't remember writing something like this. Maybe this is what you were trying to find? You sit down and quickly skim over the note. It's a list about how to avoid suspicious from the impostor that's taken over your spouse's body. You sit in shock from what the note claims, but see that the note has your handwriting, so it must be true. At least that's what you think. If you don't remember ever making this note, it is tampering with your mind. It wants you to believe that it is still your spouse, but it isn't. This is your gut feeling and you've never been wrong about it. This note will tell you how to survive. There's no easy way out, unfortunately, since this thing has connections to all your family. Trying to off yourself isn't an option either, since it will just use your body to impersonate you too, putting your entire family at danger. After reading the first paragraph, you decide that you need to listen to the note, and do so quickly. Whatever has taken your spouse has left the house for a few hours, but you don't know when they will be back. You need to prepare. Rule 1. This note was created to remind you you're living with danger. After reading this, remember to act as you always had before finding out about the impostor. You don't want it to know you know and put yourself at risk. Rule 2. Whenever you and it are in the same room, avoid eye contact. They try to put you in some hypnotic state which makes you susceptible to memory altering. Even if they act sad or try to get you to look at them, do not fall for it. Just tell it that you've been feeling under and they will most likely leave you alone. If not, it's starting to catch on and you may have to look at it for your own protection. You wonder if this is the reason why you couldn't remember making the note. They've been altering your memories. Rule 3. Whenever you and it are in a situation where an argument may occur, back down slowly. You don't want to incur its wrath. This could make your chances of survival flatline instantly. Your name. Please don't read this note anymore. You're sick and you just forgot to take your meds. They're in the bathroom cabinet and you go to therapy every 2 days around 5 p.m. Rule 4. Don't listen to anything that tells you you're sick, or you need help. It most likely found this note and is trying to manipulate you into believing it. If it has found this note and not killed you yet, they're planning on fearing on you. It's the only other thing that could explain why they're keeping us alive. After reading that last rule, you start feeling shivers all over your body. You don't know what to think at this point. But before you can recollect your thoughts, your front door opens. It's back. And it's calling for you to come down. You haven't finished reading the rules yet, so you try to quickly read them all before you get called again. You quickly stuff the note in your pocket and rush downstairs as to not make it mad. You try to remember the other rules, but Rule 4 is stuck in your mind. As you're nervously walking into the kitchen where it's calling you from, you try to calm down. But it isn't working and you're sweating bullets. You're thinking that maybe she's about to eat you? Whatever it's planning to do, you have to stay on your toes and watch its every move. When you walk into the kitchen, you see it holding a knife, and you freak out, letting out a shriek. This caught its attention, and you just realized you broke the first rule. You're in danger. She wants to eat you. You have to do something. These thoughts kept playing in your head as it approached. You resolve yourself to finally put an end to things. When it was close enough, you threw the hardest punch you ever had. It was clean hit across its face. It went stumbling backwards before slipping and breaking its neck on the edge of the counter. You did it. You killed it. You're safe now. As you look at its dead body, you half expect it to transform back into its original form, but nothing happens. You quickly look over the note to see what it says. Rule 11. If at any point you decide to kill it, you have to confirm if it is actually the monster. You aren't sure how it does it, but it managed to switch places with your wife, even for days at a time. To check, you can accidentally cut it to check if it bleeds. If it doesn't, you've angered it and you must prepare to kill it now. You quickly look up from the note to check, only to find a pool of blood surrounding your feet. Coming from the very person you killed. You start to panic, trying to find something to stop the bleeding or even a first aid kit. In a drawer you are looking and you find a doctor's note. You start to read it. In the note it tells you that you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and developed something else called Capgras delusion syndrome. You become weak-kneed at the sight of what you just did. You killed your spouse in an attempt to survive a delusion created by your mind. In the note it tells you you can't use the easy way out. It's the only option you have left. As guilt consumes your body, you make your way to the gun cabinet. Each step weighing your body down. As you pull the gun to your head, you feel no hesitation. You don't deserve to live after what you just did. Hopefully wherever your spouse is, they forgive you. Because where you're going, you won't receive any mercy. Bonus. You become weak-kneed at the sight of what you just did. But you can hear your wife muttering something. You quickly rush over to hear her, putting your ear beside her mouth. She utters a single word. Amogus. And then she eats you whole.